In the last section, we discussed about the couple of screen flows. Today, we are going to discuss about the one more example on the screen flows. So, while the when we are going to how we are going to create into the new sales order and sales order line items respective of the customer. So, for example, if you are going to select by the any one of the customer, so we are going to generating to the sales order and sales order line items. So, I think we are not created that, right? So, let's come to the flows. So, we are only get the sales customer information, sales order line items details. So, these are all the information, right? Now, we are going to create the record, how we are going to create the sales orders and sales order line items for the respective customer. So that purpose, click on to the new. So in the new flow, initially we need to get it by the customer information. So based on the email address or phone number, we need to get it by the customer information, or based on the lookup field also directly, we can get it by the customer information. Okay, let's use by the phone number too. We are getting to the customer information. So click on to the here, click on create. So in the first screen, so we are going to get it by the here. Get sales order line items. Generate sales orders. Okay, so here we are going to take it based on the phone number or based on the email or based on the lookup. Our wish, we can depends upon the requirement. So let's take by the lookup. They are going to search it by the customer name. So drag and drop to the here. So here, this is the API name of the customer name. So customer lookup is the in the sales order object we have. So let's come to the sales orders. Come to the sales order fields. Edit. Edit object. So here we can fetch it by the object API name and field API. Which field lookup you want to access, that field API name we need to fetch it. Okay. So let's come to the here. We need to capture by the object API name and field API name. So this is the object API name. So let's come to the here. This is the object API name. Let's come to the field API name, fields and relationships. So here we have to the customer name. This is the API name. Lookup field already we have. Okay, so this is the lookup field we are given to the here. Information is the customer name. So based on this selection, we are getting the customer ID. That's it. Okay, no need to fetch display the information any. Just to we are creating the sales order information to the related to the this customer. Click on done. Click on save up to here. So generate sales order. So click on save. So after the selection of this customer ID, we need to give it by the sales order line item. So which product they are going to select, which item they are going to, how much quantity they are giving, how much discount they are giving to us. That's information we need to capture. So click on to the run. So here we can able to search it by the customer name. For example, I'm going to select by the TCS. Then we click on to the next. We need to display it by the information like repeater to what are the product name, what is the quantity, what is the discount is applied for that. Okay, that is the repeater. We are going to take it for the capturing to the sales order line items. So let's come to the in the next screen, or within the screen also be the fine. No need for the next screen. Just we are selecting the customer only, right? So within the screen, after this, we are going to take it by the repeater. So repeater is the same values is the again and again it's a repeating. So in this we have to take it by the lookup for the product name selection. So drag and drop here. So here we have to the product name. Again come to the sales order line items. We have the product lookup. Generally, if you go to the sales order line items, this is the sales order line items, right? When you click on to the new, so now we need to capture by these information like product name, quantity, discount. These three fields information we need to capture. And we are going to add it by the multiple products, right? That's why these three are the repeater: product name, quantity, and discount. So that's why here we are going to take it by the first product name lookup. So come to the sales order API name purpose. We are coming to the sales order line items. Sales order line item. This is the object API name. And come to the field API name is the product name. Here only there. Master detail relationship. So product API name label is the our wish product name. Okay, so product name is the required. If you want to make it as the required here, we can take it by the required is the true. So next is the quantity. So number data type. We are taking by the number data type. This is the quantity. If it is also make it as required, we can take it by the required and discount. So discount percentage we don't have, number only we are taking here discount. Okay, so these are the repeater values: product name, quantity, and discount. These are all the values. So click on to the done now. I think repeater name we are not given. Okay, so sales order line items repeater. This is the repeater name. Click on save. Click on to the debug. Click on to the run. So here we are search by the customer name. Then we are going to create by the tell product how much quantity they have the required. 10 discount is the 10 percentage like this. Here we have to give it by the 2. Add one more product here. We are going to take it by the here. So here we are going to capture by the again to 12 percentage. So any other products? So might be we have the two only appear like this. We are going to add it by the multiple products. If you don't want, you can remove like this. Two products we have. So after that, we need to save the data into the database with respect to of the this customer. This customer already we know, right? So as for the background, we have the sales customer is the parent object. Sales customer object contains the sales order is the child object. Sales order contains the sales order line items. Okay, this is the flow, right? Actually, our flow is the, so these are all the line items related to the sales order. Go to the sales order. This is the parent object. So each sales order contains the one or more products, right? That products information we are calling to the sales order line item. But this sales order is the related to the which customer, right? So here we are going to select by the customer name as well. This is the customer name. Customer name is the grandparent. Customer name is the grandparent. Sales order is the child, and sales order line item is the grandchild. So now when you are going to create the order line items information with related to the this one means in middle of the object is the sales order. First we need to create the sales order. That sales order is the link to the customer, and at the same time these line items also be the link to the that sales order information. Let's see how we are going to create the records. So first we have to create the sales order object information. So create record. So here create sales order record. Okay, so here we have to separate values. We are going to manually assign to the one by one value. So here we have to the sales order object. So this sales order is the creation time. We need to map it by the parent record is the sales customer. So that's why here we have to the customer name. So customer is the already we have taken by the lookup now. So this is the customer lookup. So click on to the here, and here we have the record ID. Always we know, right? Lookup fields hold by the IDs. Record ID. And at the same time we have the order date. Today is the order date, right? So here order date. So let's come to the here in the flow global variables directly. So here we can take it by the current date, and any other fields are there in the sales orders. Mainly we have to these two only. Rest of it's not a mandatory. Okay, so these are all the master detail relationship fields. Automatically it will be the updated. So customer name, order date is the we are mapped now. So let's done this, and after that here is the one of the important point in the flows is the now we are creating this record, right? This record IDs we can able to hold which record is the created, that record ID we can able to use. So here manually assign to the variables. Why? Because means now we are going to create the sales order line items. When you are going to create the sales order line items, sales order ID is the mandatory. Why? Because it is a master detail relationship. So in the flows, we can able to store the which record is created, that record ID, we can able to hold it manually, assign the variables. So take it by the separate variable also fine, or in this variable also directly we can store it. So here we have to the, we are going to take it by the one resource. Click on the, we can store by the in the particular variable. This is the record creating, right? That record ID. So click on to the new, click on to the variable. So here variable created sales order ID. Which record is created? That record sales order record ID. It will be the holding. So this is the one of the future in the flows. We have the one of the future in the flows. Which record is the creating? That record ID further we need to required. So that's why manually assign to the variables. So here store the record ID. Order ID means sales order record is creating. That record ID we can store it by in this variable. Why? Because means in we are going to create the sales order line items. That's why. So up to easy here we can save it. Now sales order is the created. So sales order creation after we need to create by the sales order line items. So how we are going to create the sales order line items? Here we are taking the repeater. In the repeater, we are holding the product name, discount, quantity, fields. These are all the information we need to store it. So that's why here we have to take it by the loop. Repeater is the list type, right? That's why here we have to take it by the loop. In this loop, one by one repeater value, we are going to store it. Okay, so here loop each SOLI sales order line item. I am taking the naming. So here collection name is the we are going to take it by our repeater. This is the from the screen generate sales order screen. In that screen we have the this is the repeater sales order line items repeater. Okay, so in this we have the collection all the variables. So one by one come. So first one it is coming. The first one we are going to assign to the sales order line item object. So here we have to take it to the here assignment. So here set SOLI sales order line item. So here variables we have to take it by the one resource of the variable is the SOLI sales order line item. So variable single SOLI data type is the record. So here object name is the sales order line item. So click on to the done. So now we are going to use it by this variable single sales order line item and we need to map it by the parent record. So sales order number we need to map it master detail relationship. That's why sales order number equals to here we are created by the sales order line item, right? That is we are stored into the in particular variable. So that is the where created sales order ID. Which record is created? That is we are mapped now. This is the master detail relationship field. So here come to the click on to the new in the line item. This is the we are mapped now sales order number. Now we have to map it by the product name, quantity and discount. Let's come to the here flow, add assignment, where single. So here product name equals to in the repeater we are taking the product name. Sorry. So here current value loop repeater output current to repeater value output. So here product name in this product name we are selecting by the record ID and come to the next add assignments where single here we have to create to the quantity here equals to the current to repeater quantity. At the same time we have the discount. So here we have the discount equals to the here we have the repeater discount. Okay, so let's save this up to here. So one by one record we are adding how many repeaters we are adding, that many repeaters the loop will be the repeated. And finally we need to save it by the these records into the database, right? That's why here we are taking by the one more variable for the collection type. One by one record we are going to storing into the in that collection variable. So click on to the here, click on the new resource. In the resource we have to take it by the variable. So variable so SOLI list. So here record, we have to hold by the multiple values. That's why here we have to take it by the collection checkbox. So here sales order line item object. This is the list of records we are going to use it. So done. Here in this list we are going to adding the list of values to this single record. So where single record, that's it all. No need for the specific field. All the fields we need to adding into the in this list. So finally, after this loop repetition ending, finally we need to create by the line item objects records as well. So come to the here, click on to the create SOLI record, sales order line items records. So from the record variable, that's it fine. Why? Because already we are storing into the in the list type, right? So but here we are saving the more than one record. That's why here we are selecting the multiple. When we are selecting the multiple, here will be the refresh and it is showing the record collection. Record collection. So here in this SO list, right, we are storing the all the our products information. What are the line items information we are stored into the in this list. So finally, we are going to save this one. So once we have to save, loop will be the executed by like this. Screen only one appear, but background is this is the whole logic. So in the generator, so initially we are selecting by the customer. After that, products will be the we are selecting. Once we have to select by the products, initially we are creating by the sales order record. After that, we have to each sales order line item assigned to that particular object. Finally, we are creating the sales order line items. Let's save this up to here. We can see first output, then we can see by the next functional on this. Come to the debug. So click on to the run. So click on to the sales orders. Okay. So now here we have to the create by the del, quantity is the 2, discount is the 10 percentage. So one more is the HP. We are taking by the quantity is the 3. Discount is the 15 percentage. Two products I am adding. So just to click on to the next button, or here we have to save button. We can directly take it. We don't have the next screen. How to relabel? I will show you that is. Why? Because means next we don't have the any screens, right? Only one screen, but rest of thing is the background functionality only. This is executing. So click on next, automatically record will be the created, successfully created by the record. Here we can able to see by the our debugging information. See here, these are all the debugging information. So output that is the here. So successfully created by the record. Let's come to the here in the object level also we can able to see the information. Cancel this. We are selecting the one TCS company. So here TCS. Under the TCS, we have the, I think this is the new one, fourth na, sales order line items. So here, see here today's date. Order date is the we are giving a today's date 23rd 7th 2024. And come to this is the order line item. Initial sorry, sales order is the we are created by the initially, and we have the related to the that record customer name. Then after come to the related list again you have to observe we have these two products 10 and 15 we are taken Dell and these are the products names. So like this we have to the connection established to the one record to the another record. So that's why initially we are creating the sales order record and we are holding that record ID, and after that each record we are going to setting into the sales order line item what is the product name, quantity and discount, and create the sales order line items records information. So then next is the here, once it is created, we need to send the email. We need to send the email to the here. How we are going to send the email? Already we are created by the email templates, right? Let's come to the here. So setup. So here we have to the email, classic email templates. We are taking the sales order email template. So this one, okay, let me see. So here we, what is the order number, what is the order date, number of product. This is the we are created. What is the product name, quantity and discount also we are added by the this one. So this email, how we are going to trigger at the time temporarily we are testing for the test and verify the merge fields only, right? But now once record is creating, how we are going to send this one, how we are going to send this one. So this one we need to send it. So we need to call by this email template to the one email alert. So search with the here email alert functionality. So click on to the here email alert here. So we need to trigger by the email templates purpose. We need to trigger by the email templates purpose. We need to take it by the email alert. Okay, so click on to the next. So here we are going to generate by one new email alert. Okay, click on to the here new. What is the our email template description here? We have to take it by the sales orders email alert. Sales order email alert we are going to do. In which object you want to trigger, when which object creation time or updation time we need to trigger to the this one. So here we have to take it to the here sales order creation time we need to generate by when the new sales order is creation time we need to do it for this sales order here. Come to the here template name. Here we are selecting, already we are creating a template. That template here we have to select in the email template. Order search. Okay, sales order email template. Now here we need to send it to the whom. We need to send it to the which user. So actually here we need to send it by the customer email address, right? But we can't directly access by the customer email address here. We can't directly access by the customer email address. So how we are going to capture by the customer email address field? Why? Because means we need to send it to the customer, right? This customer related customer only we need to send it by the email to that email to the our sales order information. But actually this field is the in the sales customer object, but we are triggering the email alert to the sales order object. So how to get by the customer email ID? So dynamically, if you want to send it to the this information, so we can create the one field in the sales order object as well. Here only supported by the particular object email fields only. That's why here we have to send it to the here, or we can, yeah. So here, let's see the how we are going to create. First, we can create the up to here. So click on to the save. We can get the customer email address from that also, but here it is the required field. See here, at least we have to select by the one resource. At least one resource is the we have the required. So this purpose, what I am doing the here, come to the sales order object. I am creating one more new field. That is the email field I am creating in this, but we are not showing the end users to the here in this screen, but background only we are using to that one. Come to the edit object in the sales order object. So directly we can't access by the parent object information in the email template. So only for this particular object information only we can able to. So that's why here I am taking the one new field, that is the email data type. Don't take by the formula field. Formula fields not supported by the email templates. Only supported by the direct email field only. That's why here we have to take it by the email field. Click on to the next. Customer email. So click on to the next. As a developer, we are using this one, but we are not adding into the in the page layouts. It is background only we are using. I am not adding by the in this page layout. But as of now, I want to show you that. That's why I'm keeping into the page load. But real time, some of the hidden fields, background only for the functionality purpose, we are creating some fields. Okay, so no need to add it by in the layout. But as for the output purpose, at present, I am showing to you. That's why I'm keep it as in the layouts. Save. Okay, let's come to the here email alerts. Now here appear by the that field. When you are selecting the email field now, customer email field will be the appear by the here. Let's refresh by the page. So here sales orders email alert object is the sales order object. Email template we can select by the. So here we have to the customer email address, right? Once you have to select by the email field, now it is up here. This is we are created in this order object, sales order object. So when the sales order is created, we are going to sending to the this email. We are sending to the email to that particular person. Okay. So let's save this now. So this email template we can able to use it by the in our flow. But before that, we need to map it by the email ID, right? We are created a new email ID. This email ID we need to map it for the in the sales order object. So here we need to get it by the customer email address. Already we are selecting the customer, right? So that's why here based on the customer selection, here we are selecting customer. So we need to get it by the customer email from this record, which record they are selecting that record. So that's why here come to the get customer details. So here sales order, sales customers. So which record we need to get it? They are which record they are selecting, right? So here we have the ID, record ID equals to, in this screen they are selecting to the customer name, right? So here customer name lookup, this is the ID. Record ID, which record they are selecting, based on that record ID, we are fetching the customer information. So when you are fetching the customer information, we have the email address also be the in that record. Now in this record, we have the customer ID as well. So now here we are going to, while the creation of the sales order, we are mapping to the email field as well. While creation of the sales order record, we are going to map it by the email address also. So here customer, okay, I think we need to refresh by the page, then only they appear. Just now we are created, right? That's why. Refresh the page. Okay, refresh one more time. So one more freshly we are going to open flows. Generate sales orders, this one. So click on to this. Open latest version. So get records. Then here we have to double click onto that. We need to map it by the email address now. That's why here. So here we have the customer email field. So already we are getting the from here, right? Customer information. So get customer details. Get customer details. In this, we have to the email field. We are giving to the email. So click on save. So now we are mapping by the email address also. Then we need to send it by the email alert. So after creation of the sales order line items, we need to send it by the email alert. So let's come to the here, click on to the here. Here search by the email alert. You have to search with the email here. Send email. Right, see here, sales order email alert automatically populated by our action what we are given by the email alert name. Now this is the email alert name, right? Sales order email alert automatically here appear by the all the email alerts as well. So select to the this one, send order email alert. Once we click on to this, so send sales order email, we can take it by the any label. So here record, which record we need to trigger, right? Email alerts we need to trigger means which record we need to trigger just before we are creating the order record, right? That order record ID already we stored into the particular variable. In this variable, right, created sales order ID. That record will be the triggered. Okay, email alert will be the trigger to the here. Click on to the save. So let's see the here debugging. Once debugging is done, I will explain to the one more time this whole flow. So debug. So let's come to the first of all. I am going to create by one new customer. Easy to understand. So we have the new customer. Click on to the new. So company something we have to take it by the here. We have to take it by the, for example, company is the we have to the, so Wipro something. So email address, I am giving my valid email address. Why? Because means we need to trigger by the email. That's why I'm giving my valid email address. That's it only. Rest of things I'm not giving the anything now. So this email address is the mapping into the our sales order line item object as well. Why? Because means when the sales order line item is created, automatically we need to trigger to the email alert. So here we are giving by the valid email address. Then now from the here we are going to creating the sales orders and sales order line items for this respective record. What we are creating the Wipro, right? This company. So let's come to the here. Click on to the run. Here I am selecting by the Wipro. So here product is the Dell, quantity is the 2, discount is the 10, add one more product is the HP, this one we have to 3, 15. Okay, once we click on to the next button or save button here, automatically records will be the created by the background and email alert also be the sending. So click on next, see here successfully triggered, and here once come to this Wipro related list, see here this is the created. This is the created by the record. And here you have to observe email field also we are created right in the order object. Come to the backs. This is the sales order only, right? Order number, order date, email field actually here not appear. That's why I'm checking. So layout we are keep it right earlier. Customer email that is also with automatically here appear. What we are given to in the email address into the customer object level, that field will be the appear the here. This much time take. See here, customer email automatically populated. And we are not given to this one. Just we are created by this field. But real time we are given to the this is background only we are using, not visible to the users. While the sales order creation time we are captured by the email field. Okay, after that here you have to observe line items also will be the created, right? So once this sales order is created, it is triggered by the email alert as well. Let's come to the here. We have to check it by the email is the triggered or not. So email also be the automatically triggered once record is created. Let me see that is. So 512 it is triggered, earlier 511 only. Come on. Yeah. See here, this is just we have the company name. This is the here. So earlier we are created right email template. That email templates like this we are going to use it. So what is the order number, order date, total products, total items. So individual information. This is the, what is the discount price, what is the quantity, all those information. So like this we are going to trigger by the our email alert. So this is the overall of the functionality. So when the sales representative or anyone they are going to generate by the new orders, directly we can give it by the screen to them. They can initially select by the customer name. So once they can customer name selection, after that products they are going to enter by the products. What is the quantity? What is the discount amount? They need to add it for the here. Then finally they click onto the save. Once it is click onto the save, first we are creating the sales order object record, then after we are creating the sales order line items. Why? Because means as a schema we know right background, but in front end they don't know right. These many will be the happening. This will think the happening to the in the UI. So just background only. These are all we are doing. Sales order information we are created, and sales order line items we are created, and finally we are sending the email. When you want to send the email, email field is the mandatory. So that's why directly we can't able to access by the parent object information ID. So that's why we are taking the one more new field, that is the sales customer field. From that customer field we can able to send it. We can able to send it while the record creation of the here in this process. In what the process we are going to sending in at that time. Okay, like this email alerts also we are using to the here. No need for the at the time we are just to test and verify only. What we are developed that to email templates here we are using. So email templates directly we can't able to use it. So that's why we are taking by the email alerts. In this email alerts we are selecting by the which template you want to trigger. Which template we want to trigger, that email template we are selecting to the here. So these email alerts only will appear to the in our flow. In our flow, here appear by the, our action, one kind of the action that is. So email alert is the action type. Which email alert you want to trigger, that email alert we are selecting to the here. So this is the overall of the functionality. So combination of the all the records, how to generate it, those things. So it's clear. Any doubts, any clarification on this? Little bit confused might be. I'm not sure that. So multiple objects involved here, and we need to trigger the email alert as well. Screen wise is the showing the one only, but background is the this is totally executing. And one more also we discussed right here. We need to give it by instead of the next button. We can rename the label also here. So here we have the footer. So next or finish button, we can rename it. Use our custom label also here. We can give it by either save or submit or our wish. We can take it by the anything. So we can give it by the renaming to the here label name. It's our own. Instead of the next button, this is the final screen only, right? Just we have to give it by the save or submit our wish. Here we can give it. Click on done, debug, click on to the run. I think it's not saved the latest version. So click on save. Now we can debug. Click on to the run. See here, save button directly. It is appear by the save button. Okay, we can rename the labels as well like this. Our own format. No need for the next button. Why it is appear the next button means next this functionality is there, but we are not showing any screens, right? So end user also might be confusing. Just we are giving the instead of the next button, we are giving to the save or submit our wish. Depends upon the requirement we are giving to the here either save or submit things. Okay. So any doubts, any clarification on this? Step by step we can already we know, right? Step by step we have to develop, initially understand by the business requirement, then develop by the next step by step one. So make sure to practice. So this flows is the very powerful already we know, right? Yeah, most of the scenarios, without writing the code we are trying to use it to the flows to developing to the functionality. Okay.